Oh, what's up, everybody? Festival information. It's the most exciting time of the year. There's 4 exciting times of the year. I feel like something's missing from my life when it is not one of these 4 times of the year. Yes, Robert. Yeah, we have a kitty by default today. Yeah, you know how cats are like. They kind of migrate from place to place and they stay in that one place for a while. Well, Skill has been hanging around with me. I actually don't know if she's even moved since yesterday. Before you ask, yes, I have checked to see if she's still alive. She is. So how about these festival banners? Barely changed at all. And all the changes that were made are for the better. Now, while I will say that I think our 2nd anniversary was better than Japan's 2nd anniversary, the banners were heavily changed. Some very crazy things happened to them. This time around, we just straight up got better. In only a few places. How old is Skillet? Skillet, how old are you? Alright, cat years, I don't know. I don't know how that's measured. I think she's 9? 9 years old? Okay. So, I guess the first thing that really, like, pops out is Banner 3. Banner 3... They exceeded my wildest expectations. I was pretty confident that Machina was going to be removed. Type 0 is not the phenomenon in here, globally, as it is in Japan. Because just the way that Type 0 is, it's a very Japanese anime tropey game, where the members of Class 0 all kind of adhere to an anime archetype. And it sounds like it's bad for that, but I actually liked it because they could explore each of the archetypes and kind of put their own spin on them, and it ended up being pretty good, in my opinion. But I would understand why it wouldn't have the global appeal that, you know, other Final Fantasies would have. So what did they do instead? They took one of the most globally appealing games in Final Fantasy Tactics and replaced, and threw that there instead. Which, wow. Really gives the banner a facelift. They're, the only relic on here that I would consider to be kind of blah would probably be Gladio's BSB. Since it's an area of effect N-Earth, but the N-Earth is fine. And that's the thing, if that's the lowest you're gonna go, because his OSB is on this banner, and I was able to sub 30 Ixion using Gladio with his Burst Soul Break OSB combo. And yeah, I really think that's the lowest it goes here. Everything else is just top notch. Though a lot of people probably are going to have dupe of Onion Knight Burst Soul Break. I'm not going to evaluate the things as if they were dupes, because, you know, that's unfair to the people that don't have those. Gladio's LMR is, what, 25% chance to dual cast Knight? It's really good. Yeah, his LMR 1 sucks. His LMR 2 is really good. It's also Earth Armor, if I remember correctly. Or is that Ingus that has the Earth Armor? Nope, it's Gladio's. It's Earth Armor. But Ingus Chain is fantastic. I really like Ingus's Chain because of the multi-damage type potential of it. Ingus is probably the best chain holder in the game, next to maybe Vincent. Because Ingus is a 4-star support as well as a 4-star white mage. Which means that he can use a chain, and I'm going to say the same thing about his Burst Soul Break 2, he can use his Burst Soul Break 2 on a boss that's immune to physical damage, and still have a significant influence on the boss fight. Because of what he can do that is not physical earth damage. I don't know if there's any other character that has the options available to them that he does. Garnet is another very strong case, yeah. No, these banners go live on the 25th, I want to say? 25th or 24th. Now, Titus can only do physical water damage, Sarah. And I think he can really, he can't really do anything else. He can draw fire. I think Titus has Knight 3. Alright, so that's Banner 3. That's just a light look at the improvement that happened to Banner 3, because I think it's the most significant. Yeah, Skillet's up. See, she is alive. I've proven it. So let's go over some other changes that happen here. Banner 1 is completely untouched except for one thing that had to happen. It had to happen, which was Moro's USB was here. And it was changed, thankfully, to Rose's USB. Moro's USB is actually not good. So even though this banner had to change, not only did it change because it had to, but they actually just made it straight up like 1,000 times better than Japan's. Like, this is so much better. And yeah, they made it into an even better beginner's banner because there are 3 top tier healing relics on this banner. At least. Possibly 4 or 5, depending on how you look at it. Because Mog's can be the 5th. I've seen Mog's BSB be used as a healer and buffing relic, and it works. Bye, Skillet. Come back soon. So it's got healing. It has support in Ramza's Burst Soul Break, Onion Knight's Mage Soul Break. So it's not only support, but it's support for physical and magical. It has defensive support in Tyro, which is actually a good relic. Yes, it is not as good as it was originally billed when it first came out. Ultra Wall, wow! But just because it's not as good as it used to be doesn't mean it's not still good. Those are awesome names for cats, Can Man. So take those 3 relics, Tyro, Onion Knight, Ramza, and then look at what we have for LMR here. 3 of the best LMR in the entire game. Tyro's Start Battle with Instant Cast 2, Onion Knight Start Battle with Instant Cast 2, and Ramza with Start Battle with Instant Cast 1 and full ATB. This is just a fantastic buff banner. And then, now look at what they did for healing on the banner. They just made it so much better because Rose's USB is phenomenal. Aphmau's is one of the best 2 healing relics in the game. And neither of these 3 bursts are anything to laugh at. I think the only miss on this banner... There's 2 misses, in my opinion. Which would be Aphmau's LMR, which is fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Marsha's Burst Soul Break. I'm not a big fan of Marsha's Burst Soul Break. It is a party buff, but in my travels in Record Keeper, I haven't seen a whole lot of use for a party buff for physical teams. Stat buff, that is. Right, Marsh is a very good character, but it's because of his USB, which happens to be here, and it's a fantastic USB. The top of the banner is full of great things. Yeah, it's just a really good banner. I know a lot of people probably look down upon it because healing and support is something we've all invested a lot in the past, especially with the last 2 Onion Knight banners. So this is not going to appeal to a lot of people, even though it is strong. But for a player like me who has, for some reason or another, not ended up with some very strong healing relics, this banner is actually quite awesome for me. I have two dupes on the banner. 2 dupes, and that would be Aphmau's Burst Soul Break and Onion Knight's USB. That's it. These will be 50 mithril, and will not. You will get a free pull banner, but it will not be any of these. These are normal festival banners, and normal festival banners, since the beginning of time, have always been 50 mithril. Okay, so that's the first banner. Yeah, we are getting 2 free pulls, a 33 pull and an 11 pull. Depends on what those 5 dupes are, Axel. Right. Second banner. Top of the banner is has been changed. So I'll talk about the two changes to this banner first, which are both, in my opinion, for the better. Renoa's chain here. That is here instead of Snow's chain. Huge upgrade. Snow is, honestly, I think Snow's chain is good, but Snow as a character is not. He has a bad legend dive, where Renoa's isn't bad, and his ability to exploit the element that his chain uses is not good. Even once we get Icicle Rush, it's not really that good, because Icicle Rush is not that great of an ability, but it is a huge improvement over what we have now. Renoa, on the other hand, gets a fairly good dive, Chain Blizzaga, and in the future gets Vortex, which is a 6-star Meltdown that does ice damage. Oh yeah, that's true. Snow does get a USB that works well with his chain. So if you do have that combo, then that's actually a good thing. Okay, and the second change on the banner was changing Sarah from Final Fantasy XIII, her Burst Soul Break 2, into Renoa's Burst Soul Break 2. In a vacuum, that's a bad change, because Sarah's Burst Soul Break 2 is definitely better. However, because Renoa's chain is on this banner, I would much rather see her burst here than Sarah's. Yeah, I'm not sure what the crystals for Vortex are. Black, obviously primary, but you can see the rest on the Enlier's spreadsheet. So both of those changes are good, and that's it. That's everything that happened here. And this is probably, objectively, the second best banner on the festival, as far as strength of relics. So just to have a small improvement to it is really, really quite interesting. And I do feel for the people out there that didn't have Snow's chain, but do have Renoa's chain, which makes that a bad change for them. But it does, you have to admit that it does make the banner stronger. Hello, E-Daddy. So the top of the banner is Lightning's AOSB, Squall's AOSB. The two chains on the banner are Renoa's chain and Kane's chain, and there is one USB on the banner, which was Lightning's. I did express that I would have preferred this to be Kane's, because Kane's is much more rare. We don't see it that often, but I didn't actually expect that change to happen, because Lightning is just that much more popular of a character than Kane. Even though Kane is a very popular character, it's just Lightning is Lightning, and that's something we all have to live with. But here's the thing, is that Lightning's USB is not a bad thing to get, even if you already have it. It's a 6-star Lightning Sword, so even if you do have one already, that's fine, that's cool. Have another one. I think the only situation which you don't want any more of these is if you you already have, you know, an 8-star or, you know, 2 of them, whatever. A while ago, a couple months max. So, not only do we have that lightning sword for lightning, then it's actually a good pull for you, Troll, because now you can get another 8-star. Lightning's AOSB and Squall's AOSBs are both elemental weapons. Lightning's is also a +6 or a 6-star lightning sword, so 2 6-star lightning swords on the banner. Squall's AOSB, 6-star lightning sword. As far as the soul breaks themselves are concerned, I at least don't have to go into what these actually do now. A little bit on lightnings, but everyone's seen what Riku and Sora's AOSBs do. 3 incredibly powerful hits. And that's Squall's, and that's really gross in Squall's hands. So that's probably one of the best relics on the entire festival. Lightning's AOSB is a little different. There's 2 varieties to these AOSBs. One is the Squall version, or the Sora and the Riku version, which is 3 8.0 multiplier hits for a total multiplier of 24. Lightning has a different variety. It's a faster and more chain-oriented variety, where it does 20 1.0, no, not 1.0, 20 hits, and then 1 overflow hit at the end of those 20 hits. So it is specifically meant for using with a chain, and charging the chain and taking advantage of the chain. It ends up being, in most situations, not as strong as the Squall version, but it's still good. It's still very, very good, especially if you have other people in the team that can take advantage of the chain, because now you're charging the chain by 21 attacks at once. And then everyone else gets to reap the benefits of that incredible damage boost. And that only gets better later on when the new Generation 2 chains are released, because right now 20 hits on a chain is probably going to cause you to cap on the chain, which is you get a 99% on it. In the next version of the chains, they go up to 150. So there's extra room for AOSBs like this to be valuable. So both of those are good. Both of those are good. I think Squall's is probably the best relic on the non-chain relic on the festival, but both of them are very good. Kane's Chain, probably don't have to go into why that's so good. 20.55, is that the buffed version? Lightning also does quick cast it with her USB. Yeah. That's one of the major benefits to elemental quick cyclers like Lightning. Alright, so that is the 5-star section of the banner. It's all extremely powerful. All of it. There is no bad relic here. There's 2 glints on this banner. One is for Lightning and one is for Squall, both of which are good. Lightning's is the weaker of the 2, but it's a plus. It's a 5-star Lightning sword, I believe. This is incorrect because I know Squall's. Oh, that's bursts. Okay, they put them below for some reason. Yeah, it's a 5-star Lightning sword. which is okay. It's okay. Lightning... What can Lightning do with enhanced an element? What can Lightning do with an element stacking? Not much. I suppose this is probably a weaker glint, because an element stacking, in my opinion, is really, really good for people with chases, because that extends the amount of hits that they do, and those are considered abilities, which reap the crazy benefits of increased ability damage. That's what glints provide, increased ability damage. True. Yeah, that's right. Her AOSP does reap the benefits of a glint. Because in Squall's case, he's probably going to be capping in a lot of situations on those 3 attacks. So the added damage from his glint doesn't really do much. His snow spell strikes are going to be capping. His command 2 on his burst soul break going to be capping. I think Squall's glint is going to be better in the future when he gets his USB 2, because that gives him a chase, which gives a chance for that an element stacking to shine. However, that's fine, because that is an incredible relic right now, because it is plus ice light armor. So even if you don't use the glint at all, plus ice light armor, awesome. So, yeah, both of those are good. Both of those are good. Still haven't found anything bad on this banner yet. Squall's Burst Soul Break 2. Squall's USB 0. Is obviously really, really good. Lightning's Burst Soul Break 2. Also good. It's not Squall BSB 2 tier, but it's still a very good Burst Soul Break. Because, like it's been talked about, one of the things that Lightning can do is high quick cast out her soul breaks, and the benefits of using her USB are time based. There isn't much reason to recast it, so there isn't much reason to specifically recast it over something else. So if you have the ability to entrust to her, you can get a gigantic benefit from Lightning by mixing both her USB and Burst Soul Break together. And that would be like a situation where you don't have her AOSP or something, because that's 750 Soul Break points. It's hard to support that many Soul Breaks for a single character in a fight. But her Burst Soul Break still has to use, which is nice. Renoa's Burst Soul Break... no, her Burst Soul Break, Lightning's is random. Random target. So yeah, you wouldn't want to use it on Kraken. It's definitely for future 5-star Magicite. Okay, so Renoa's Burst Soul Break is actually not good. It's actually not good, but it does give Renoa an ice. So if you were in a situation, let's say, where you had somebody that didn't require entrusting, like Squall, for instance, or Sora, they don't really require entrusting, because you entrust them once and they get their burst going, or in Sora's case, his USB, and they don't really want any more Soul Break points. So if you're running an Entruster and Sora or Squall, what do you do with the rest of those Soul Break points? Well, you want to funnel them into somebody else, and if Renoa is that person, and you have her chain or something, that gives her a great Soul Break to add into the pot, where she can use her chain and her burst together to be a significant damage dealer. I would not suggest recasting the chain. Well, it is a quick cast 2 chain. I don't know. I'd really want to put in a Burst Soul Break in there somewhere. Because I've done that. I've done that with Kane himself. Then again, I mean, Kane doesn't quick cast his give party quick cast. Yeah, actually, that's true. I was thinking the reason why it works out so, or in my mind it works out so well, is because you could give Rinoa the Thunder Guard RM. But why would you do that when you have Squall or Sora in the party? They could use it instead to a much greater effect. So maybe your burst really is plus 10 magic for Rinoa, which is fine. Seriously, because this was Sarah's Burst Soul Break 2 before. I'd rather plus 10 magic for a chain holder on the banner than plus 10 magic, and a good Soul Break for somebody else. But on that thought process, Kane's Burst Soul Break is really old. It's really old. But it is a plus lightning spear, and that's good. And it is also a way for a chain holder, Kane, to get enlightening on himself. And that is a good person to have it on. Because there isn't a whole lot of benefit to recasting his chain before the chain is up. So having someone to dish to deal soul break points into is a good thing. So that is actually a good bird. Unfortunately, a lot of people probably have this already because it's probably in the running for the most places, or the most places a relic has ever shown up. Yeah, I don't know about the Ether command. There's nothing for him to Ether. Lightning Dive isn't exactly the toughest tone in the world. It's really just, the commands are pretty bad. It does have the Cyclone Dive command. The Cyclone Strike, is that what it's called? Where it removes the delay on the next two jumps, which would be neat, but it's definitely much lower soul break point generation and much lower damage than Cyclone Strike. So, yeah, his commands just suck. But casting the burst isn't exactly a bad idea. I do it myself on my 30-second run. I'm speaking from experience on that. Lightning's LMR is a very good LMR. It gives her 25% chance to dual cast in combination with her LM2, which in my opinion is probably the best LM2 type in the game. She starts with Haste and Instacast 3. So that is one of the best combinations in the game for Legend Materia. Haste and Instacast 3 and a 25% chance to dual cast in an LMR. Awesome LMR. Squall starts the battle out with N-Ice with his LMR. That's a very good LMR for him because he uses Snow Spell Strike. So being able to start the fight using Snow Spell Strike, awesome. Kane's weakest relic on the banner. Kane's LMR is the weakest relic on the banner. It gives him, I think, 25% increased Dragoon damage when a spear is equipped. Dragoon damage does not include his soul breaks, and Kane is a soul break user. In every configuration that I can think of. So it really just doesn't boost the damage that he does very much. I would much rather, if you have access to it, if you've Legend Dived Kane, I would take his LM1, which is 10% increased lightning damage, over his LMR any day. Because that at least increases the damage output of his soul breaks. However, if you have not Legend Dived Kane, then at least it's something. Because Dragoon is an ability school, Untamed. And that's something that happens very often in the game, is that things are separated into ability schools and elements and stuff like that. It's not useless. Yeah, it's not useless. So maybe it's not the worst. It's 10 attack and it's marginally something. Where Rinoa's Burst Soul Break is probably just 10 magic. So maybe Rinoa's Burst is the worst relic on the banner. Alright. They're close, though. Elemental relics on the banner, there's a lot. There's 3 6-star elemental relics, 2 lightning swords and 1 ice sword. The ice sword is still something that's very, very rare. The only other 6-star in the game is the Zat's USB, which is on a current banner. And I will say with confidence that this is overall the more valuable banner of the two, because not only does it have good relics, but it has good soul breaks. More good soul breaks. Okay, so Banner 3, I talked about this briefly for the changes, because it was the most changed banner on the festival. But now I'm going to go dive into it deeply. We have 2 of the most powerful relics in the entire game here, in Orlando's USB and Bart's USB. Orlando is triple elemental and Bart's is quadra elemental, and both are with Bart's needs stuff backing it up to be the best stuff in the game, where Orlando is just the best in the game by itself, and that's fine. That's fine, because Bart's BSB show up in many places, so assembling his Affinity Gauntlet is actually is an endeavor that is really, it doesn't penalize you for undertaking. For instance, there is a banner currently that has Bart's Burst Soul Break 5 on it. His Fire Burst Soul Break, the banner 2 of the current Final Fantasy V event. It's a very good banner. His Burst Soul Break 3, his Earth Element Burst, is on this banner. Very good banner. His Burst Soul Break 4, Wind Element, is on the 4th banner of this festival. Very good banner. You can select his Burst Soul Break 2, his Water Bursts, with his OSB. That's a very contentious decision, but at least that is available to you to get his OSB and his Burst Soul Break 2. And I think his Burst Soul Break 2 is also on the 2nd banner of the Final Fantasy V festival. So you're just not penalized for going after Bart's Burst Soul Breaks, which is really nice. So assembling those things actually is okay. So, I mean, you have 2 of the most powerful relics in the game right off the bat. And let's throw in yet another, an Onion Knight's physical USB. No, we haven't, Senbu. So maybe I'm wrong there. Psychotic, you may want to click live on the YouTube stream, because I just said that like 2 minutes ago. Onion Knight's physical USB is one of the best relics in the game. Support-based, not damage-based. Well, it's actually not bad for dealing damage either. But it's there you go. There's 3 lined up on this banner. And what does that leave us with the other 2? Oh, just the Earth Chain, which, as I noted on the changes, is one of the best chains. As far as, like, future longevity is concerned, because of how valuable Ingus is as a character, as a chain holder. It is currently the only Earth Chain. We have one more reported in the future. Galoof gets it. And I would assume a magical one will follow soon after, because yeah, it has to, because of the 5-star Magicite. The first 5-star Magicite is the Lightning Magicite, which means Earth is a priority. Is more of a priority for us to start looking into. But I'll talk about that more probably during this stream. And lastly, we have Gladio's OSB. It is just an OSB, which is pretty unspectacular or unexciting in compared to stuff like this. But it's a fire sword. And fire swords are very rare. There's only 2 in the game at the moment. One belonging to Gladio and the other belonging to Cypher with his USB. So that's a very, very awesome relic to have. So yeah, there's no misses here. Burst Soul Break section, we're starting out with Ingus's Burst Soul Break 2, and now is where I will talk about Magical Earth and why Ingus has longevity. As has been noted, combining a chain with an elemental Radiant Shield is a very powerful combination. And it's no damage type. So I would assume that these things work on both the physical and magical magicites that we will have for 5-star. So Ingus is a physical and a magical character. He's a hybrid. Not only does he have 2 soul breaks that work in both physical and magical fights, but he's also a character that has things that he can do, like Wrath, for instance, that allow him to stick around even when he's not soul breaking and do valuable things for every turn that he takes. So he's giving an Earth Radiant Shield to the party. Last Stand, Chain, Wrath, Protecka and Shelga, Kiraja. It's probably a lesser option. I would probably run Ingus with a Wrath and Protecka or Shelga. Ingus is just a really valuable character as far as the Earth element's concerned, and that's important because Magical Earth is practically non-existent. So those are very, very powerful things. And now that with the release of 5-star Magicite, I am very unhappy that I didn't end up pulling Ingus's Burst Soul Break 2 off of that Onion Knight banner back in the day. But hey, what are you gonna do? Bart's BSB 3 is very good. It gives him an Earth. It powers up everything that he does now and into the future. His USB, his USB 2, his AOSB, it's really good to have Bart's bursts. Gladio's BSB, I did talk about this briefly. It's a basic OSB BSB combo that he has access to. It does get better because his LMR is on this banner. Am I 100 gemming all of these? That would require that I buy gems. I think I only have 200 gems yet. So I think I'm gonna 100 gem 2 of them. And then just call it a day, which will probably be Banner 2 and Banner 5, which, in my opinion, are the best banners for me in the festival. But anyway, Gladio's LMR. It's LMR 2, which we talked about earlier. Don't mistake it for his LMR 1, which is not good. His LMR 2 gives him a 25% chance to dual cast Knight abilities. So that does make Gladio with his BSB OSB combo a lot better, because he has something very valuable that he can do while those are active. He has Sentinel on the command on his burst, which opens up to him being a powerful user of Earthbringer, and being able to dual cast Earthbringers is a very, very good thing. So Gladio is actually just a good character. The fact that he's probably the weakest character on this banner is crazy, because yeah, he's really good. Tifa's Burst Soul Break 2 is an Imperil, and it's just an Imperil burst. And normally that's so-so. That's okay. But again, like Gladio, she has an LMR in this banner that pairs up together with their burst very well. That is Start Battle with an Earth. That is a great LMR for an Imperil holder. because it's like getting the benefit of having an Imperil Soul Break as well as an element Soul Break. So just combine those both together, and yeah, she's in good hands. Tifa is an average character right now. She's an average character right now. Next festival, she gets a hell of a lot better. Tifa powers up into just a meteor crusher. So I'm just trying to think about how that like relates to this banner. Am I happy to get her things? Her Burst Soul Break 2, am I happy to get that? I think her Burst Soul Break 2 is going to be very powerful against Ixion, so yeah, I think a lot of people will probably be able to sub 30 Ixion, taking advantage of Tifa's Burst Soul Break 2. You know what? I think she would be fantastic to entrust to with Thunder God mode, because for 25 seconds she has Unearth, and she's not penalized for that, and she has an Imperil Burst, which she can just cast over and over and over again. I think that would be extremely powerful, and probably enough DPS. Even with a light amount of Earth DPS on the side, like a ninja, for instance. There's no doubt in my mind that that's sub 30 material for Ixion. So yeah, I think a lot of people would be happy to pick that stuff up now, because that's something you have now, and 3 months from now, you know you can potentially roll on an Earth character that's, you know, able to compete at even higher levels. So even that's really good. Onion Knight's Burst Soul Break. Objectively, a very powerful relic. A lot of people have it. And it's going to make a lot of people feel bad that they got that and not a USB. But it's still very good. Yeah, I have both of his USBs, and having both of his USBs, I don't think I've used the burst a single time. Because once I got both of his USBs, I started prioritizing moving away from hybrid teams. So I think there is a situation where this is probably the weakest relic on the banner. For a lot of people. I don't really see... We've moved away from hybrid. You know what? This is actually really good for new players. No, I didn't get both USBs in a single pull. No, I did. That did not happen. So it's probably the weakest relic on the banner. But if you don't have either USB, it's still very good, because Onion Knight is very good. I think Onion Knight is a good enough character to legend dive him with just his burst. So, I mean, can I call it bad if that's the case? I can only call it bad if you've got the other things, and I guess I have to rest my case there. Onion Knight is just a very weird case of a character. He's the ultimate support. Alright, well, moving on. Oh, hello there. Ingus with an Unearth LMR. Awesome. Awesome for every chain holder to get an element on their, you know, LMR. I cannot think of a situation where it's bad for him to have an Earth. I suppose if he were on a magical team. He is not dealing any Earth damage himself on a magical team. where physical is the boss is immune to physical. So maybe, yeah, you don't use it there. But it's still very good as far as him being on a physical team, because his burst will break 2, no unearth. His chain, no unearth. And like I talked about with Tifa's burst will break 2 there, in situations like that, that's when unearth shines, because it's adding a benefit you usually get from other soul breaks onto a soul break for free. Gladio's LMR went over that. Something I didn't go over is that it's plus Earth Light Armor. Plus Earth Armor is a very nice thing to have. Bart's LMR. I love Bart's LMR. RNG in this game can be really strange. Skillet. You want to join the party? Good job. That is your spot. Okay. Yes, Skillet hit the keyboard and hit my volume bar. I had to lower it. But now she's in her safe spot. Okay, so we have Bart's LMR, which is a very good thing. So RNG in this game can be a little frustrating because, yeah, we can reset battles, okay? And we can reset and get good RNG, but that comes at a cost. And that's our time. And I would assume that our time is valuable. But Bart's is a little different. Bart's has 3 RNG components to him. And the thing about RNG, or random chance effects, is that the more times it happens, the more times it equalizes to a certain point. I don't know, I forget what the terminology in math is for this, but the more iterations of the mechanic, the more you adjust to the mean, I think it's called. And with Bart's in his LM2, which is 35% chance to dual cast, his LMR, which is a 10% chance to triple cast, and his Chase, which is a 50% chance to be weak or a 50% chance to be strong. Over the course of a fight, you include all of these mechanics in it, and Bart's, though he is incredibly RNG based, actually ends up being less RNG based because he has so many chances that it ends up finding somewhere closer to the middle. And that's how I look at this, is that even if you use all of Bart's RNG components, he's still a really good character if he's adjusted to the middle. And you have the option, if you want to spend your time and reset the battle and try to get the higher rolls, if you would like to. And that's how I view Bart's. Where someone like Shantoto, for instance, doesn't have any dual cast. She has speed up, but she has a 10% chance to triple cast on her LMR. That is a single point of RNG, and there are runs that will go by where you don't see any benefit from that LMR at all. And that's kind of what I'm getting at with Bart's. Bart's being as heavy RNG as he is, he's less RNG. I hope I communicated that well. So, like, I'll give an example. He doesn't triple cast at all during the fight, but he also has a chance to, that could be the fight that he gets more 35% dual cast than normal. Or he doesn't get any dual cast, but you get one triple cast, and you get a couple high rolls with your USB chase. You get more 8 hit chases than you get 2 hit chases. There's opportunities for the other points of his RNG to pick up the other. And that does mean that his lows are going to get pretty low, but The fact that there's so many different roles happening means on a long enough timeline. Yeah, there you go. Math. Very good LMR. Tifa's LMR, I already talked about it, extremely good. And is also plus Earth Light Armor. Is that just law of averages? Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean, the more times that you do something that has a random chance, the more, over a long enough timeline, it ends up equalizing and will be, you know, so, God, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'll just rest it on that. Tifa's LMR is really good. So what's bad about this banner? Nothing. There's nothing bad about this banner. Onion Knight's Burst Soul Break, which is even not even that bad. Gladio's Burst Soul Break. He's still a good character, and that's the thing. He's, in my opinion, the weakest character on the banner, but he's still a good character. So this is a really good Earth banner. And the fact that it's single elemental means that, hey, I need Earth. Then I think this is the best Earth banner that we've ever received. Yeah, it's not bad. Onion Knight's Burst isn't bad. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean it's bad. For me, I have Onion Knight's USB, Bart's USB, Gladio OSB, Bart's BSB, Gladio BSB, Onion Knight BSB, and Bart's BSB. What is that? I have 7 relics on the banner. What does that leave? Ingus 1, Orlando 2, and Orlando, I could basically count that as 2 relics, because that answers my deepest and darkest problems, which is my holy team. And is one of the best, best things in the entire game. But that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like everything that I don't have. So it is still a good banner for me. I guess this is why I stockpiled 500 Mithril, right? To pull on the worst banner of the festival for me, which happens to still be a good banner. Wow. Okay, moving on. No, Gladio Dupe isn't bad. I only have 1 Fire Sword. I do have a Flame Tongue, but I'd rather Gladio's OSB. So having Orlando USB, Tifa BSB2, and OK BSB, this is a guaranteed pull for you? Yep, I would say so. Definitely. Because the problem is Hades, Shinra. It's a pretty dark problem. Okay, Banner 4. No changes. So, you saw me go over the first 3 banners when I first started this analysis, and talk about the changes, and I left out banners 4 and 5. There's a good reason for that, because there are no changes to both of these banners. None. Dare I say that is a good thing. I don't know if there's anything that I would put on these banners instead of what appeared here. Bart's BSB 5 on banner 4 instead of what, though? Everything there is good. I guess I would prefer it more than Terra's Burst Soul Break 2, but it's not like I mind Terra's Burst Soul Break 2. It's really good. So, Well, really good is... It's a way to get in fire on Terra. Because I don't have that. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Banner 5 right now. If I started talking about Banner 5, I wouldn't be able to get out words. So we have Banner 4 here. Lunith AOSB. Zac USB. Both of these are new. Zac Chain. Lunith USB. Which is a katana, I didn't know that. And Cloud's USB. So Cloud's USB is an oldie. And so is Zac's Chain, but both of these are still really good. Cloud's USB is still a game breaker, and still works well with what Cloud does into the future. So that's still a really powerful relic. And Zac's Chain is just really good. It's a generation 1.5 chain, where it is 0 damage and a 50% chain. Oh, sorry, a 50% attack buff with the chain, which is very similar to the Gen 2 chains, and it's very good. Lunith USB is also old, yeah. Yeah, it is from the same era, isn't it? It came out on the event like almost right after Cloud's Awakening. Yeah, because I remember pulling on the second banner of that festival. You'll be able to better use Zac because of this festival. There's 2 new abilities coming out. I don't know... Ripping Blast, which is a celerity, a 5-star celerity ability that deals wind damage. Great for Zac. It's basically made for Zac. So this is good for both Zac and Onion Knight too, because he can dual cast celerity abilities. It's really awesome for Onion Knight actually. So Zac and Onion Knight definitely benefit a lot from this. Lunith as well, just to a lesser extent. Lunith's USB is also old, but it has become much better. Much better since it was first released. Back when it was first released, the only thing that he really had to use with it, because it's exactly the same as Lightning's, where it gives him high quick cast, and then he's granted high quick cast every time he uses a wind ability. This is really good. It allows him to chain out soul breaks, but where Lightning had access to a very powerful burst soul break too, and even if she didn't have that going for her, she had a very powerful 5-star Spellblade to use. All Lunith had was Aerial Dive, which needed to be paired up with Blood of the Dragoon to be really good for DPS, because jump timers suck. Even if you're using the Speed 5 trick, jump timers really suck. But since we have access to Cyclone Bolt now, Lunith's USB is actually really good. And gets better here, because he gains access to his AOSB, which is another thing that he can high quick cast out. Unfortunately, his AOSB is one of those 20 hit and 1 overflow varieties, which, well, I say that like it's unfortunate that it's really good, even though it's not, you know, one of those 3 hitters that's just better, but it's still really good. So please don't take my use of the word unfortunate as being that these are bad. They're actually really powerful. Especially for Zac's Chain, who has a lot more room to build the chain, up to 99, so the additional 20% is actually pretty significant. Anyway, Lunith with also with the LM2 that Lightning has is just a really powerful character. And him having both of those relics here is really good. Unfortunately, neither is plus wind. There are no plus element relics on this entire banner, if I remember correctly. There are not. Okay, so what do we... I mean, the only thing that we haven't gone over here is the one thing that... the one, like, effect soul break that is new, and that's Zack's USB. This is the first new soul break that is not an AOSB on the entire festival, I think. Oh, Tyro's USB. I forgot to go over that, didn't I? Okay, Zack's USB, Clim Hazard Zeno. 10 random attacks in Peril Wind, and grants attack and defense plus 30% for 25 seconds. Quick cast and wind quick cycle. So he's a high quick cycle. Oh, sorry, not high quick. He's just a wind quick cycle. An elemental quick cycle. That's what I meant to say. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's good. It's really good. But his chain doesn't deal damage, so it's not a wind damage ability. It won't trigger the quick cycle. So you're going to need to use the USB after the chain if you want to use them together. It is an Imperil USB though, so quick cycling itself out is very beneficial. Yeah, Zillergat. Well, it's suppose it depends, Ricky. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't use a physical wind team. I suppose it just, like, the mechanics of Zack have just fallen through my brain net. Yeah, you would always use the USB after the chain. I guess I was stuck a little bit on Lunith and how his wind quick cycle works. And that you kind of want to finagle it around to make sure that he's getting his wind quick cycle to cast soul breaks with. And then Zack came along and was kind of reversed. But anyway, because it's Imperil Wind, he definitely benefits a lot from the quick cycle. Kind of like how I was talking about with Lightning's Burst Soul Break 2 earlier. And the fact that there's not a whole lot of benefit of recasting Lightning's USB unless you need to refresh one of the 15-second effects. So you switch over to using the BSB2 instead. Zack is just, I get quick cycle and Imperil on the same soul break, so please just keep recasting me if you can. So it's a good wind banner. From what I've seen of the Midgard-Zormer fight, you can get very little off of this banner and be in sub-30 territory for Midgard-Zormer. And that's the 5-6 stars. I didn't actually explicitly state that at the start of the festival. I know I've been saying it many, many times over the course of the past 3 months, but this festival has a banner format we have not seen before, and that there are 5 6 stars on it, and we will not see this format again until next festival. And that's why we view festivals as being as strong as they are right now, because the banner format is just so much stronger than what we see on events. Okay, so Burst Soul Breaks. No, Glint. There's a Glint, and that is Lunith's Glint. Does Lunith benefit from that Glint? He doesn't have a chase. He doesn't have a dual cast. But he does have a 20-hit AOSB. So increasing the damage output of his AOSB is good. And he does have an N-Wind LMR. So you actually don't need any soul breaks for him. Look at this as a Sora type situation, where Sora starts the fight with an element, and then just uses abilities, and then uses an AOSB at the end of those abilities at, 22 seconds. And that works really well. Lunith can very effectively use his LMR to start out with and Wind. You just simply use abilities for the entire fight, and throw Glint in there if you want to, and then his AOSB if you want. So that's really nice, because getting specific relic combinations for strong damage output can suck for free-to-play players. And when you're able to achieve powerful things like this combo that I just talked about with few relics, is good. And I heard a lot of people talk about that after watching my Tiamat sub 30, where I removed Sora's Burst Soul Break and just didn't use it and used Snow Spell Strike instead, and just as AOSB. It just made people go, oh, I actually didn't like the fact that I just got this person's AOSB, because I thought, I needed other things to use with it, because I can only use it once per battle. And then realized that by starting out with an element, he's actually a really potent ability user right from the start of the battle. So you actually don't. You don't. So there's a lot of different configurations that Lunith can use here to be a very good character. And the Glint helps all of them that make use of the AOSB. I'm not really sold that hard on how good it is with his USB, because you're going to be high quick casting out aerial dives, OSB. I suppose Cyclone Bolt would benefit a little bit of damage from it. But yeah, it's pretty much for his AOSB. Okay, so next we're moving into the burst section. First off is Bart's BSB 4. That is new. Well, I kind of disagree with that, Zillergut, because a Glint only, a Glint would actually be good with his OSB if that is the way that you get and Wind. Okay, so that is valid. That is valid. Lunith is not a celerity character. He's a Dragoon and a Spellblade. He is 5-star celerity, but he is penalized for using celerity abilities rather than the other two types. He can use those if you would like to, but I'd personally rather use Cyclone Bolt and Aerial Dive with him, and later on the 5-star Wind Spellblade. Okay, Bart's BSB 4. Call the Wind. Four single attacks, and second command grants Spellblade plus 15%. What's up, Solus? Yeah, but look at his record dive, Solus. Plus 6 Dragoon damage, plus 6 Spellblade damage, plus 6 Darkness damage. No plus celerity damage. Yeah, I mean, the commands are whatever. It's just a way for Bartz to get and Wind. Just pretty powerful. It is a penalty. He would prefer to be using the other abilities if he can. if those were bad abilities, then I'd say, okay, yeah, just use Celerity instead. But they're not. The 5-star Spellblade is very good, and so is the 5-star Dragoon stuff. If you're forced to use Life Siphon on Lunith for whatever reason, then yeah, because the Dragoon abilities do take up 2 ability slots. So Bart's BSB4 is very good. And past this point, yes, we get the BSB4 after the BSB5, so normally you would switch those around, but I'm not going to. We're just going to call it I'm going to call it BSB4 and BSB5, 4 being wind, 5 being fire, because that's the way it's been, that's the way it's listed on the spreadsheet. If the spreadsheet switches them around, then I'll switch them around. But as of yet, they have not. What's the reason behind the darkness damage? I don't know. He does get darkness 4, I think, right? So he gets slightly stronger Dark Bargain or Death Throws. Okay, so that was Bart's BSB4, and it's very good. Cloud Burst Soul Break 2 is very good. In combination with his USB. Later on, he gets other Soul Breaks that kind of take over his BSB2, but for now, this is how Cloud does a lot of wind damage. Zac Burst Soul Break. This is a highly sought after Soul Break up until this point because it was the only way that Zac could do wind damage. Is it still good? Pretty confident it has a higher multiplier than his USB. .68 versus his USB, which is a 6.8. Oh, he has 5-star darkness. Oh, okay. Changes things. His LM2 is non-elemental, so that's nice. So I'm trying to think about situations where, well, if you don't have Zac's USB, then obviously his BSB is good, because that gives him something that he can do with his soul break points other than chain. I suppose it's like the lightning situation. I don't know if the extra 0.88 multiplier is worth having another soul break on my bar. If all I have is his USB, I'm just gonna keep recasting that. And especially where the chain is concerned. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of use for Zac's BSB anymore. Zidane Burst Soul Break 2 is a way for Zidane to get in wind. Because I don't believe he has access to that in his LMR. The commands are nothing to write home about. But it's a way to give him M-Win, which is nice because his USB isn't in peril. And he benefits very much from having M-Win because his trance mode instant casts out thief abilities. So instant casting out N-Winded dash and slashes versus an Imperil boss. It's powerful. It's powerful. So I view this as being a useful thing for Zidane. And Zidane finally gets a good LMR. Which is a 25% chance of dual cast ability that deals wind damage. That works very good with the things that Zidane does. Because he instant casts wind. So the only way you can make that faster is to make him cast it more than once. So that works perfectly with the way Zidane works. Lunith, another hammer. He's got 2 hammers. Is his LMR. It starts him off in the battle with N-Win, which I already talked about is a very good thing for Lunith. Cloud's LMR is, I believe, has a 30% chance to grant him Quick Cast 1 when using wind abilities. Not very good. Probably rather uses LM1 over that. And Zack's LMR also doesn't sound good. Which is a 50% chance to chase with a 1.08 after using a celerity ability. Which is fine because that's what Zack does. He's a celerity character. And now that we have the 5-star celerity ability, that's what Zack does. 1.08 is actually a pretty decent multiplier, but it's only 1 hit. So it only happens 50% of the time, so we can, average this out into it's effectively adding a point 5.4 onto all of his abilities. Is that powerful? No, it's not. Because look at it this way. Take Lightning, for instance. Lightning has a 25% chance to dual cast with her LMR. So what are you dual casting? You're dual casting a 3.2 multiplier ability in Thundering Quad Strike. So over a long enough timeline, that ends up being 25% of 3.2, which is much higher than 0.54. So it's not as strong as we're looking for from an LMR. I suppose it's something. I don't know. His celerity ability to deal 15% more damage is really good on Zack now. And I feel like in most ways you're going to run Zack, you're going to run him Legend Dive, so I don't know if I would ever use this. So 15% more damage. Let's compare those, because, that's something you have to choose from. 15% of... I will give you exact numbers. Oh, I can't. Well, let's assume that over the course of the fight you equalize to 4.175, so 3.0, 15% of 3.0. So 0.45. 0.45 versus 0.54. Zelamar is better. If you're able to quickly get up to 5 attacks with Ripping Blast, which moves the multiplier up to 3.75, then the 15% celerity works out to be better. So, with anybody that has used mechanics like this, if the user is used 3 or 5 actions, does that count soul breaks? Because I can see getting 5 attacks off with this being something you could do fairly quickly, especially with Zac, who starts the battle off with haste and instant cast 3. Then 15% celerity is probably just better. Do chases count? No. Yeah, it is only marginally better. I mean, 1 every other attack added to the chain. Use whichever one you want. I suppose use Zac's. Chase, LMR, whatever you want. There's such a small difference that who freaking cares? Is the animation good? True. That's actually the best argument I've heard so far, Senbu, is that the added damage from the chase on Zac's LMR won't have cap issues that the 15% celerity will be on maintaining the same number of hits. Good point. Use the chase. So I'm glad we spent that much time on Zac's LMR. To find out that it does have a use. Hello, Don. Oh, is there only 2 weeks left of that? No, Malden here. That probably will cap, but what we're comparing is the 5-star celerity ability has a number of hits, and that caps at 5 hits. So that will cap at 50,000 damage. The chase allows you to exceed that 50,000 damage cap. Using the 15% celerity damage LM does not allow you to exceed that 50,000 damage cap. I know CP35 is out already, but Ramza's CP35 is not. Okay, alright, so this banner, like, It's also single elemental like Earth. I think overall it is not as strong a banner as the Earth banner is, but that doesn't mean shit. It's still extremely strong. And I think a nice part about this banner, if you're looking for wind potential to take down Midgard's Armor, is that you can kind of safely pull on this banner and not be impacted much if you would like to pull on the wind banner in the next festival. Because there's very little overlap between the two. In fact, there may be just some synergy between the two. With Cloud's USB and Cloud's USB 2 and AOSB on the next one. I think, what are the conflicts? There's only 3 overlapped relics, and that would be Zack's Chain. Yeah, the theme is really good, Psychotic. Is it 4? No, it's not 4, it's 3. Oh, they do put... Well, Cloud's BSB2 being one of the dupes and Zack's yeah, whatever. I honestly think that's fortunate, and for the most part, Ricky, because it's 2 dupe bursts. It's not dupe at the top of the banner. The only real dupe that I care about between these 2 banners is Zack's Chain. And 0 Lunith things on this banner. Cloud, Noctis, Cloud, Aerith, Zack, Cloud, Noctis, Cloud, Zack, Noctis, Iris. It's not a dupe if you don't have it, but that's not really what we're comparing right now. We're comparing, like, because both of these banners are pretty wind focused, where there's a couple non-elemental stuff on here, but for the most part, they're wind versus wind. We're thinking pulling on this festival and how it affects your chances to get the good things on next festival. Because you may actually have a dupe if you pull on this festival and end up with, you know, Zack's Chain. And that was the comparison we were trying to make. I think if you have a limited amount of Mithril, it makes sense to concentrate on strong banners in the current festival that the next festival doesn't do as well. And that's something I'm going to go into more once I get to the end, after Banner 5. So I'm going to move over to Banner 5 now. And, well... I apologize if my speech devolves into a gibbering mess. Because this banner has been hype. It's been hype, and there's just been this nagging voice inside my head for the past 6 months that has said, there's no way that they're going to keep this banner intact. It seems like they shouldn't have much to change, but no way do they keep this banner intact because it is so powerful. There's no way that they do that. And what did they do? It's the exact same banner. Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
Maybe I'm a lion.
Hello, Anoxus. So let's go through the 5-star, or sorry, the 6-star relics on the banner. No, Chris. It's situational. As far as damage is concerned, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, that's a good point. Shadow is extremely good for darkness. But as far as doing the other two elements, if you're asking the question, Chris, as far as like, which is a better 3-element user, that's a tough question to ask. Yuffie is DPS. She does DPS better than the other two, yeah. Utility is a little different because Edge has a Super Soul Break too, which, yeah, he's not going to do as much damage as Yuffie with her Glint, but his Super Soul Break 2 is extremely powerful. So there will be situations in which that is better, but as far as like damage output is concerned, yeah, Yuffie wins. Because nobody else has the ability to increase their damage output like Yuffie does. With her Glint. Now, I will get to that in a second. So the 5 6-stars on the banner, we have 1 Terra Relic, 2 Yuffie Relics, a Creel Relic, and a Titus Relic. We'll start out with Terra's. Terra gets an AOSB, and it's one of the good ones. Terra's AOSB... remember what I said about Squalls being really powerful, and the fact that it's 3 packets of 8.0 damage for a 24 multiplier? Terra's is the only magical one, which is why you get to look at this big number. Breaks damage cap, 3 single attacks of 26.5 multiplier each for a total of 79.5, which is twice as powerful as a Mage OSB. Her Mage OSB is a 40.0, her AOSB is a 79.5. That's in just about any situation. That is 300,000 damage. She has a much better shot of hitting 300,000 damage. Exactly the same. It's actually, the proportions are identical. Well, with a small deviation. So a Mage OSB is a 40.0, and a Mage AOSB is an 80.0. Slightly, very, very close to an 80.0. So that's twice as powerful as an OSB. Squall's OSB is a 12.0, Squall's AOSB is a 24.0. So it is twice as powerful. And it's hard to compare the multipliers of magical versus physical. But as we've found out over the course of, I don't know how long OSBs have been in the game, but we do know that generally Mage OSBs are more likely to hit higher damage potential than physical OSBs, and that because the proportions stay the same here, that doesn't change here. The ways that Terra can get on fire are from her USB, her Burst Soul Break 2, her Glint, and her Super Soul Break 2. But anyway, Terra's AOSB is extremely powerful. Also, a plus fire sword. Plus fire magical sword. If, the AOSB itself wasn't sick enough. This is one of the best Black Mage's songs. I love their version of Maybe I'm a Lion. Okay, and I saw something... absolutely, Chris. Thank you for asking. Thank you for speaking up and asking. Okay, next up we have Yuffie. Inoxus, no, it is not. It's an RS only plus fire magic sword. Her AOSB is plus fire. Okay, so next up we have Yuffie's. I don't even know which one this is. So Yuffie has 2 thrown weapons on this banner. One is her AOSB. No, I actually didn't in Oxus, because she has an OSB. The A is actually quite important. We're going to go and find out right now which is which. Someone at DNA really likes Yuffie. Because Yuffie just burst onto the scene with an AOSB and a USB 2. Oritsuru is her USB 2. And that is the, that's the paper crane. So this is her USB 2, this is her AOSB. Her AOSB is one of the 20 hits followed by a single hit. Makes sense in Yuffie's case. I obviously wish it was a ×3 because Yuffie actually charges the chain really well just by herself. You know, being able to put 14 attacks down in a single turn just through dual casting is kind of nice. Sorry for the hiccup. The AOSB is a plus water damage thrown weapon. Physical thrown weapon, and that is an extremely powerful relic because she is one of the best water characters in the game. Tidus is one of the best water characters in the game. Bartz is one of the best water characters in the game, and all 3 of them can use thrown weapons. So that is an extremely powerful relic. And one of the water abilities that Tidus uses requires you to be using thrown weapons. I suppose that's less impactful because he also has access to a plus water damage Blitzball. He has his own version of a thrown weapon to use with Sapphire Shot. But if you don't have that, I don't, then this is a fantastic relic. I hope I get like 9 of these. So, good Soul Break, another good relic. This is... This 1-2 combo at the top of the banner is only rivaled, in my opinion. Oh god, Orlando, you butt in and screwed everything up. I was gonna say only rivaled by this, Lightning and Squall, but banner 3 has got the dates. What do you mean? What about Edge? Oh, can Edge use Throne? Well, he's a ninja. He better be able to use Throne. But I wouldn't consider... Well, I mean, yeah, Edge is really good. So, yeah, okay, Edge. We'll throw him in there. Anyway, that's her AOSB. So, 1, very, very powerful. 2, very, very powerful. 3, Creel's Fire Chain. Really, really good. It's a quick cast chain, and it's on a mage. It's going to be the only mage chain for a while. The next one will be Vincent's, and I actually don't think that Vincent's doesn't show up on a festival banner. And I don't like the banner that Vincent's shows up on. This is probably the best place to pick up a mage chain, and the best place to pick up a chain for a very long time. There will be a physical chain, but it's basically physical only chain that shows up in the next festival. Gilgamesh has it. He has the Gen 2 Fire physical chain. And that's really good. But Creel's chain for now and for a while into the future is going to be one of the most powerful fire relics that we can get. It's a quick cast chain, so it's going to work for both physical and magical. Good. It's good. I personally am a huge fan that this is on the banner. Next up, another very, very powerful chain in Tidus's. Yes, this has shown up on more banners than it really has any right to. But I'm not going to talk about it in that way. It is still enormously powerful on a very powerful character. I already have it, and that's unfortunate, but I don't care. Yeah, it's just really good. The monthly Titus chain appearance, yeah. Yeah, it's really powerful, and it's a good thing that it showed up here. Nothing else could have taken its place. It's the only water chain. Unlike the situation we had on Banner 2, where Renoa's quick cast chain took the place of Snow's. This really, because of the way they constructed these banners, there was nothing else that could go here. So, always expected it to show up. And lastly, we have Yuffie's Paper Crane, her USB 2. Which is Freewheeling Gauntlet. Unfortunately is not instant cast. But 10 single ranged attacks grants attach water, physical blink 1, and water blade follow-up. What water blade follow-up is kind of like casting a second ninja ability, because really she needed to do that, huh? Yeah, let's talk about that. Cast Water Blade Barrage after using a water attack. Four, 6, or 8 single ranged attacks for 0.32 each if the user has physical blink. It is just a a lower multiplier version of the current 5-star wind ability. So if she dual casts, yep, she attacks 22 times. So, yeah. It's okay. I would consider the multiplier drop from 4.7 to 2.56 to be more than just a slightly worse drop. But even if she doesn't dual cast, she is, as long as she has two stacks of physical blink, she is getting off 15 attacks. Yeah, she AOSBs every turn. It is quite a step up. Edge's USB does have high quick cast for Ninja, which doesn't really matter that much for ninjas because ninja abilities are already quick cast. So I'd much rather have the superpowered chase rather than Edge's chase. It's a huge upgrade over Edge's. So, is there 5 relics on any of these banners that add up to this? You could make a case that Banner 3 could get there. I think Banner 2 is slightly below 5. I think it's 3, 5, and then just a wee bit, tiny step down. Not big enough for anything to matter because all these banners are awesome. This top end is just really, really powerful. And now we'll move into the 2 glints. Oh, she is. We'll move into the 2 glints. First one belonging to Terra. Terra is a typical glint, but it's a good one. It's a good one because Terra's USB doesn't show up on this banner. So what you're looking for if you don't have anything for Terra, like me, for instance. I do have her Super Soul Break 2, but I really would like to upgrade that. is a way to give Terra End Fire, because that 80% increased damage on her AOSB is kind of significant. And there's two ways to give Terra End Fire on this banner, one through her Glint and the other through her Burst Soul Break 2. Burst Soul Break 2 takes 2.5 seconds to cast and a full 500 Soul Break points. In many situations, you're really only going to want to use her Glint and her AOSB. And the reason that you want all of this, with her USB not appearing on this banner, is because Terra has an amazing LM2 dive that gives her a quick cast trance, which means you actually don't need her USB for her to be really powerful. Her USB is just a different way of attaining it. I really like Terra with Glint and AOSB. I think that's my favorite configuration of her on this banner. Glinting, you can glint very quickly at the start of the fight. With a single Entrust, a single Ace Striker Entrust. It does matter, E-Daddy. Yeah, you can add all these things together and it does a lot of damage. It's not going to matter that much for AOSB, E-Daddy. It's more like for Chain Faraja and Meltdown spamming. And Chain Faraga, which she also does well because she's a quick caster with a dual cast. So yes, that is yet another way to run Terra. She actually doesn't need the AOSB to be really powerful. There are just so many different ways to run Terra as a powerful fire mage. And I think a lot of that is enabled by the fact that she has a quick cast trance, which makes every part of her better. And yeah, that's a very powerful Glint. She is one of the better users of a Glint. And Yuffie's Glint is new. It's new. And it's shocking. It's shocking. It does not give her End Water, and it does not give her End Water stacking. The cape-looking thing is the Glint, yes. Yuffie's Glint is also instant cast, so it's got that in common with the others. But it grants her Physical Blink 2, Physical Blink stacking 2, and Yuffie's Ninja Rank Boost. What Yuffie's Ninja Rank Boost is I don't know why they named it the way they did. It's a rank boost. She gets 30% increased ninja damage at rank 5 of an ability. Which means that unlike the other two ninjas, she has the capability to increase her ninja output with all three elements. Where Shadow specializes in dark damage, and he does it better than anybody. Yuffie doesn't specialize. She does specialize in water. She's extremely good in water. But she also does dark and earth extremely well. Where Edge specializes in being a utility ninja. Yeah, this you get this in you are diving Yuffie. I will not accept no for an answer. And you are spending a lot of dark orbs leveling up those ninja abilities. Would it be better to run Yuffie with Stitch in Time over blinking abilities to get the soul gauge for the Glint? Possibly, because like you bring up, her Glint can be used 3 times over the course of the fight, and you use it once, and you get 2 stacks of Physical Blank. And for an element, say Earth, for instance, it's not like she wants to be using any of her other soul breaks. All you want to do is use the Glint, so that 250 is well spent. Yeah, I think using Stitch in Time for her, plus one of the 5-star 7-hit abilities is probably a pretty decent combination. Yeah, as long as you probably just have to entrust to her once, so you can get off one glint for the physical blinks, and then from then on, whenever you run out of your physical blinks, then you should be able to have 250 soul break points to use a glint again. If I haven't gone into it yet, glints cost half as much soul break points as a regular soul break, so they are easier to use. And this is why when I answered Chris's question earlier, I talked about Yuffie being the highest damage output all ninja, because she has access to this while the other two ninjas don't. Not that the two of them are bad by any means. They both have things that they do best. Like Shadow's gonna eat Siren. Shadow eats Siren. Yum yum. May I please have seconds? But Yuffie does as well, just not as well as Shadow. And that's the real benefit of Yuffie in my mind, and why I preemptively dived her. Because it gave me a sub 30 at the time. I was like, you know what? I think they're going to change the 5th banner of the festival, I think they aren't going to change it enough that I won't want to pull on it. So here we are with this banner being as just sick as it is. Boy, am I happy that I dived Yuffie. I think that's fair, Paranoid, yeah. But he does have 2 different very powerful ways to get in dark. Well, 3. He's got an Olimar as well. We don't have any more info on that, unfortunately, Mochi. We can only suppose that we're going to get the same selections that Japan had, but that is still speculation. Okay, so moving past the glints, which Yuffie's glint is the little bangle thing, and Terra's is the cape. Next up, we have Terra's Burst Soul Break 2, which, while is kind of not, it's just not that great by itself, it is a way to give her end fire. So if you do end up coming away from the banner with her AOSB and her Burst Soul Break 2, that's fine, because now you have access to her Legend Dive, so she can quick cast out her trance. No, she can be tranced, so she can quick cast out Soul Breaks. You can give her End Fire with her Burst Soul Break 2, and eventually be able to use her AOSB. So that is a good configuration you can use Terra in. And it is also a Fire Bracer, which is also a good thing. So that's a good pickup probably regardless. I think it is. I'm still using the Final Fantasy X Red Armlet that I selected off the Tyro Selection 2 banner. Yep. So I would really like some fire armor. Okay, so that is a good pickup. And then Yuffie's Burst Soul Break 2 is actually extremely good. One thing that we've talked about a little bit going into Yuffie is that ninja abilities are disgusting. Ninja abilities are gross, and they do a lot of damage, and they're very fast to cast. They're a 0.83 cast time, where Soul Breaks typically take 2.5 seconds. That's a very, very big difference. And because they take so long to cast, in many cases, it doesn't even make sense to use them if they take 2.5 seconds to cast. I think Yuffie's USB is powerful enough to make up for it, but you still want to try quick casting it out somehow, like with Titus's chain, for instance. Granting the party quick cast, which allows her to quick cast out her USB and then her USB 2, and then it makes sense to a lot of sense to use it, more sense. Or like Realm's USB or Aphmau's USB. But a nice thing about Yuffie is, and her Burst Soul Break 2, is it's instant cast, So you're not penalizing yourself for using her Soul Break, where you are with something like her Burst Soul Break 1. Where it takes so long to cast, and all you're really getting out of that is a little bit of light damage, which doesn't have anything on her ninja ability damage. And water. That's what you're doing it for, and often it's just not worth it if you're full casting it. Her Burst Soul Break 2 is different. Because it's instant cast, there's an immediate benefit to casting it. It also imperils. So her Burst Soul Break 2 is actually, in my opinion, does make Yuffie a diveable ninja. And her USB 1, though it isn't on this banner, is also instant cast, which is another Soul Break that makes a lot of sense to use on a ninja. So I really like Yuffie's Burst Soul Break 2. I would very much like it, because I have no instant cast Soul Breaks for Yuffie for water. And there will be situations, like if I get her Glint, I will probably want to cast a Soul Break with her over the course of a fight that is not her Glint, and having her Burst Soul Break 2 wouldn't be nice. So that's, it may fall into, you may not use it as much if you have her USB 2 and AOSB, but it's still a good thing to have. On a character that doesn't need her USB 2 or AOSB to be a powerful character. And that's what's so gross about Yuffie. Like, she has 2 6-stars on the banner, but she doesn't even need them to be one of the best characters in the game. Next up, we have Tidus's USB, USB 2, also called as Burst Soul Break 2, which is an instant cast burst that gives him a charge of instant cast. Really just a really powerful burst. It gives him a buff too. This BSB is just so powerful. And because I only have Tidus's chain, this would be a huge pickup for me. Because there's many times where I just don't want to. I want to do something with Tidus that is not Sapphire Shot. Because he ends up generating so many Soul Break points over the course of a fight, and I suppose he can recast his chain, and that's always nice, but his USB, or his Burst Soul Break 2 is a very powerful cast during his chain, because it's instantaneous, 10 hits, and gives him another charge of instant cast, so it's just really powerful. Okay, so that's the bursts. All 3 bursts on this banner are very good. And then we move into the LMR. Terra's LMR is a 25% chance to dual cast fire abilities. Awesome. As I said, one of the configurations to run Terra in, a few of the configurations has her use Meltdown, Chain Faraga, and Chain Faraja. And 25% dual casting is absolutely what you want for those. Yuffie's LMR is very good. Yuffie's dive is LM1, 10% increased water damage, while her LM2 is 35% chance to dual cast with ninja abilities. Her first Legend Materia is only water focused, but as we've gone on about, Yuffie is a tri-elemental ninja. So you want her LMR to throw in the LM1 spot instead when she is doing dark damage or earth damage to give her some effectiveness. And it's, I believe, a 25% chance to grant her Physical Blink 1. I may even want to use this over a 10% increased water damage. Just to save you against instances where she gets one of those stacks taken away. And, it's happened to a lot of you guys out there who've used ninjas, where you've used the 7-hit ability, and while you're in the process of using it, you lose a stack. The way this works, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is you would, with 1 stack of Physical Blink, use the ability, do 5 hits, the lesser version, grant, the LMR procs, grant yourself a physical blink, and if you dual cast, then the dual cast will be a 7-hit, because now you have 2 stacks of physical blink. And that also qualifies for her USB 2 chase. Where you generate a stack of physical blink, and then her USB 2 chase takes into account that stack of physical blink and increase the damage output. And that's why I think just having this LMR corrects some of the problems that some people may have with ninjas. It depends, Mercenary. It's different. It's different all the time. That's why we preach don't pay attention to the stuff that say the in-game descriptions say. Because very small can mean different things for different things. Okay, so that's Yuffie's LMR, and it's very good. Squall's LMR is just good no matter what. Squall's LMR is a plus water damage bracer. That is just such a super powerful relic. And oh, by the way, it gives Titus, who has a lot of options, very powerful options that don't involve M-Water. It gives him M-Water. So Titus's LMR is one of the I can't even say it's one of the best relics on the banner, because the banner is full of really awesome things. And finally, Creel with her LMR, start the battle with then fire. Also, fire light armor. I am going gibberish. Sorry. Did I say Squall? But apologies. So Creel starting off the battle with then fire. The relic is also a fire light armor. Creel's chain definitely benefits a whole lot from her starting the battle with then fire. That is another good thing to have. Where's the bad things on this banner? Is there anything bad on this banner? Terror BSB2? Nope. Can think of a ton of places that's still really good. This is maybe the best banner I've ever seen. Well, dupes, but that's a per person situation. And some of the dupes are good anyway. Like Terra's BSB2 is a good dupe. Titus's LMR is a good dupe. Creel's LMR is a good dupe. And by the way, I only have one dupe on the banner. Okay, so now that we've talked about how good or bad these banners are for now, I want to talk about something we brought up a little earlier on the Win banner. How does pulling on this banner affects the strengths of the next festival? And is there any way that we can strategically pull on this banner that will not affect the strengths of the next festival? So I have a lot of Mithril, so this doesn't really apply to me. But what if you have 200, 250 to throw at this festival? You obviously can't take full advantage of it, but you can spend now on the banners of this festival that are good now and that aren't covered by the festival later, and then generate mithril for now, and then spend on the strong banners in that festival and get the best of both worlds. And that's, I think, a really, really, really important argument to make, because not everyone is a crazy person and saves up 500 mithril. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly talk about the next festival's banners, their strengths, elemental and realm-based strengths, and damage type, physical and magical. So we can accentuate the strengths of the current festival that aren't covered by the next festival. Next festival, it looks like we have a Dark and Holy banner. This is going to be a popular banner because there are no Dark and Holy banners in our festival. There are Orlando's USB, and there is Marsh's USB. So there are decent Holy relics, but that's one on one banner and one on another banner. I'm not going to consider those strengths, themes of those banners, because this banner is Ramza Chain, Holy Chain, Cypher's Chain, Dark Chain. Orlando is probably going to be here, Holy and Dark. Sephiroth, Dark BSB. Cypher, start battle with then Dark. And Orlando, low chance to dual cast Night or Darkness abilities. This is a very themed Holy and Dark banner. So this is going to be a hit to people that are pulling on this festival, because this is very uncovered by the current festival, as we have no Holy or Dark banners. Does this affect the current festival at all? No, because Marsh's USB on the first banner and Orlando's USB on the third banner are both powerful enough that there's some things that are so powerful that you don't even care. You just want to make sure that you have them. And Orlando's USB and Marsh's USB, I personally feel, fall into those categories. So I don't think this banner has anything to do with the current festival. Well, maybe a little. Alara USB, Alara BSB, Penelo BSB, Deuce BSB, and Alara LMR are all healing focused, and we do have a healing focused banner on our festival. Does the presence of this banner, and I do believe Alara to be better than the stuff that we have currently on our festival, but is there a conflict worth paying attention to there? Lightly. A light conflict. As I said, I'm going to look at these in a realm regard. Alara doesn't have a conflict with realms because she's a core character. Rosa is easily the best healing soul break in Final Fantasy IV, which is going to be something people will definitely want for Torments. Aphmau's USB is one of the best healing soul breaks in the entire game, and it is the best healing soul break in Final Fantasy XI. Probably going to be a while out for their Torment, so I'm not going to consider it great for that. I'd say the conflict is there, but not terribly bad, because just because Rosa's USB is going to be so good to have, even if you are going for Alara's as well. And Aphmau's as well, I think. I want all three. I think having all three would be beneficial to any account. But it does affect the first banner a little bit, because how does it affect the first banner? Well, it has actual overlap in Tyro's USB and Tyro's LMR, right? Yeah. So, okay. There is conflict. Healing and Tyro. So, if you were considering making pulls on this banner, please take a look at this banner in the future. Yeah. I mean, honestly, personally, that is something I need to do. Well, I have done, and I've decided that I'm pulling on this banner anyway. Because I need physical darkness and I need physical holy. So this is going to be a good banner regardless, and I want Alara no matter what. No matter what I pull on this coming first banner, I want Alara, I want Cypher, and I want Ramza. I want Orlandu. The overlap of Tyro's USB is just, it's inconsequential. There is not enough overlap to make me doubt it. I want what's on the first banner. I want to pull on the first banner of this festival, and I want to pull on the first banner of the next festival. So there's that. Second banner. Okay, now we get a little weird. We have lightning and ice here. Not just lightning and ice, physical lightning and physical ice. Which is covered slightly on the 4th and 5th banners of this festival. So what are we looking at here? We see Titus with his AOSB. Squall with his AOSB. Riku Chain. Okay, well, Squall, Snow, Titus USB, Titus Flash, Squall Flash. So what we're talking about here is 4 banners, and we have to talk about all 4 banners at once. And that would be the 2nd and 5th banners off of our festival, and the 4th and 5th banners off of theirs, because of the elements involved. Riku, as of this banner, is not a very good chain holder. Her way of dealing water damage is with Sapphire Shot, and she has no way to actually augment Sapphire Shot. So she would use her chain, and then just weekly Sapphire Shot. And that's it. Because her dive augments Machinist and Celerity, and her LMR augments Machinist. So it's just not good. Titus with his Generation 1 chain is better than Riku with her chain, in my opinion. So that's leaning towards me feeling that the 5th banner of our festival with its water strengths are better than the strengths of water on this festival. Yeah. I think Titus with his chain, LMR, and Burstle Break 2, and Yuffie added on to that is just makes her a better water banner than the next festival 3 months from now. So what else are we looking at here? We're looking at physical ice on this banner. It's just a copy of the current banner, which is Squall's AOSB, Squall's Flash Art, hers Galint, Squall's BSB2, and Squall's LMR. It's actually just a copy. And ours is actually better because we have an ice chain that is not snows. But who knows if this may stick around in the future. But we do have Renoas, which is better than snows. So right now, I'm at least for the ice and the water components, I'm leaning towards the current festival rather than the future festival. Do I think we'll keep it similar? Well, if this festival is any indication, yeah, I do. So that's a hell of a revelation that 3 months from now, in a game with what should be a steady increase in power creep, it's actually level, which makes it very high value to be pulling now. It favors the two banners that we're looking at with 2 and 5. But now let's move over to the other elements, and that would be lightning on the second banner and fire on the fifth banner. Lightning on the second banner is Lightning's AOSB, Kane's Chain, Lightning's USB, and additive things for all of them. What do we see on the fifth banner of this festival? Ash AOSB, Garnet Chain, Ash USB, Ash Flash, or Ash Glint, Garnet Burst, Afmao Burst, Garnet LMR, Ash LMR, Zero Conflict. This speaks very, very favorably of the second banner in our festival because there's zero conflict with it. This is all magical stuff, where the current best banner in our festival is all physical. So the second banner in our festival, in my opinion, is a very powerful banner because it doesn't affect the strengths of this festival in the future. Because of 5-star Magicites and how we are being moved towards making two different teams, a physical and a magical team. And here's another note that just popped up yesterday, I think. The first 5-star Magicite, they're going to be released monthly. The first is going to be the Lightning Magicite, which means Earth is going to be important, and they're going around the ring. Which means the second Magicite in the second month of 5-star is going to be the Water Magicite, which means Lightning will be one of the first elements that we need. I think Lightning is in a really good place right now. Both of these banners are fantastic for it. Second banner in our festival and fifth banner in the Summer Festival. That is just an important note to make about our festival. If you want to spend Mithril now and then save up for next festival and get strengths from that one. And the other element is fire. In our current festival, we have Terra AOSB, Creel Chain, and some light stuff for Terra in her Glint, BSB2, and LMR, and Creel LMR. And in the next festival in the summer is going to be a Pure Fire banner. And on the top, I'm seeing Gilgamesh Physical Chain, Physical USB 2, Bart's USB, Terra's USB, which does not occur on this banner, Terra's AOSB, which does occur on this banner, but that's a hell of an overlap. That is a fire weapon, a 6-star fire weapon. So where is the actual overlap here? This is basically a physical fire banner with the overlap of the AOSB, which is a good dupe. Terra LMR, Terra BSB2, but Terra BSB2 is a good dupe. That's Fire Bracer. Again, I see no reason why I shouldn't feel very strongly about our current Fire banner. So, Banner 5. Banners 2 and 5 are very strong bets. And aren't affected very much by the next festival. If at all. If at all. Moving next, we have the Earth Banner on our current festival. And we do see some overlap here. But is it bad? Possibly. Tifa, AOSB. It's a 3 times AOSB. Very, very powerful. Dual Claws is an Earth weapon. Tifa, USB 2. Also an Earth weapon. Monk ability double. Very, very powerful. Tifa is probably the strongest Earth character in the game, with competition from Orlando. And there is overlap there, because in our current festival is basically a physical Earth banner, where this is physical Earth here. And this banner has what? Ingus, Orlando, Bartz. Gladio's gonna fall off. He doesn't have the toys that everyone else here has to play with. So we have those 3. Ingus, Orlando, and Bartz. I will take Tifa over Bartz as an Earth user until he gets his AOSB, and then I'll reassess that. So it's a tough decision, and this is probably why this is going to be the only banner on the festival that I probably don't pull on, because I do have a lot of some of the strong things on this banner already, as well as I do plan on pulling on this banner in the future because I need magical lightning, and I do need physical earth as well. So this banner just really fits me very well, where this doesn't as much. I'm just trying to think of a situation where you pull on this banner now and you don't screw up your chances for good things on the Earth banner in the future. You would have to pull light on this banner. I think that's probably the assessment that I have on this banner. It's probably really good for a lot of people, because I personally think it's an incredible banner. But I wouldn't go deep. Because there's another incredible physical Earth banner coming in the future, in the next festival. It only has one Earth character on it, though. And that's why I say don't go deep, instead of just don't pull it all. Because there's a very good chance that you're coming away from this banner with a powerful Earth character. Tifa's USB 2 is very good by itself. Tifa's AOSB is very good by itself. Tifa's Glint, BSB, and LMR are all here. But that's just one character. So if you're able to pick up, a good, decent Earth team from this, and then you can strengthen it later, I think that's probably the best call. Yeah, second generation Earth Chain is Galoof, and that I've been eyeing that banner. I think it's a lot better. A lot better than I first thought it was when I saw it. I am Kupo. I am. Very. That change totally benefited me. So this is something to think about. I think 2 and 5 on this festival are, in most cases, no-brainers. Depends on, like, what your situation for the chains are. Like, with Renoa's and Kane's chain. That's going to have a lot to do with that decision. But for the most part, these banners are just standalone good, and they're not going to affect what makes the next festival good. Third banner is a funny one, because I think Tifa is better than Bartz, better than Gladio. Okay, so moving on, we'll go into Wind next. See, we got Luneth, Zac, Cloud USB. I believe the banner we're looking for is third. Yeah. This is a non-elemental and wind banner. We have Cloud's an AOSB, Noctis AOSB, Cloud USB 2, Aerith USB 2, and Zac's chain. There's only one relic overlap here, and that's Zac's chain, because it kind of has to be. It's still the only wind chain. And with Cloud's USB being on the current banner, I don't really see a whole lot of overlap here. It is physical wind versus physical wind, though. I suppose that's strong overlap. This is the better wind banner. I will say that. The next wind banner is better. But it also has non-elemental things on it. So I may feel similarly about this banner and our current wind banner as I did about the earth banner. And that's... It wouldn't hurt to go light on the current wind banner and pick up something to hold you off until here. And hopefully what you pick off of the current wind banner combines with this. And there's a lot of situations which it can. Luneth would be a good pairing with this banner. Cloud's USB is a good pairing with this banner. Zac USB is a good pairing with this banner. I just worry a little bit about delving too deep into physical wind. What do I plan on doing? I may throw 50 Mithril at our current festival banner for. Why? Why do I say that? Because... well, I have no dupes, and everything on the banner is pretty good. So, and that's a situation I'm probably not going to experience. Honestly, this is a luxury of having too many Mithril. If I didn't have 500 Mithril, I would not be thinking about this right now. But since the banner is from top to bottom as good as it is, me throwing 50 Mithril at it is going to return something. I think I'm going to throw 50. Very unlikely that I put more than 50 into this banner. I'm probably going to focus on this banner instead in the next festival. Just hope that I don't get Zach's BSB or something. I think that's the only... Well, the LMR aren't bad. The LMR aren't bad. They'd be investments for the future. Lunith's LMR would still be good by itself. Because I am assuming that there's going to be a Lunith Final Fantasy III selection. And having his LMR would be freaking awesome. And getting Zidane's LMR 2 would also be very good, because I plan on pulling on a Final Fantasy IX banner in the future. Yeah, this is just worth 50 Mithril to me. Very unlikely that I go further than that. So that's, I feel like that's the end of the assessment of our festival and the next festival combined. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yeah. Yeah. The library will come eventually. Yes, Evan. Thinking about it, the selection banner will give us 1 6-star, which will be an OSB. The 333 pull has a guaranteed 6-star on it, and if you choose to do the 33 pull for 50 Mithril more, that'll have another free 6-star on it, or a guaranteed 6-star. So 2 to 3 guaranteed. How deep am I going to commit myself to Banner 5? It's a good question. Probably pretty deep. But pretty deep compared to what I'm used to going. We're looking at about 150 to 200 Mithril. I think about it a lot, Imp. It might still be John, but it would need to be the last priority. I think the festival banners take precedence over that. If you have 50 Mithril left over, it still might be a good pull. Fusion debut deep, I don't know if I'm ever going that deep again. Like I said, 150, 200, 250 tops. I don't think there's a situation that happens where 250 goes over it. I went 350 Mithril on the Fusion banner. Yeah, please subscribe to the stream. It's not like Twitch subscribe, it's basically just following. The more followers I have, the much, much better off I am with YouTube. They kind of require me to have 1,000 for them to even take me seriously. So, really looking for some YouTube subscribes if you guys are okay with providing that. Thanks a lot, Evan. Definitely appreciate it. Bart's Glint, does it stack with the USB? Yes. Yes. We don't get Bart's Glint for a long time, though. How do you use Ingus's Burst Slow Break 2 effectively? Cast it as soon as possible. It's best used with his chain because the reflected earth damage adds to the chain. So any area of effect attack does a lot of damage because it benefits from the chain as well, but it also adds 5 notches to it. No, Earthbringer could be better, eDaddy. I talked about Wrath being good because, you know, the 5-star Magicites, they're going to require us to have a physical and a magical team. What's nice about Ingus having access to Wrath is that he can be an effective character on a magical team, even though he's a physical character. So he can Wrath to use his Soul Breaks. And his Soul Breaks are good even on magical teams. That's when Wrath is better. Obviously, Earthbringer's not going to do much against the boss that's immune to physical. So, yes, Wrath would be better than Earthbringer in those situations. But Earthbringer may be better when you're on a physical team. Or Earth Saber. Or Gaia Cross. Probably Earth Saber or Earthbringer, though. Will banners be gone once each phase shifts, Troll? Yes, as always. It's the way every festival has been since the beginning of ever. Cup Noodles, Watchtowers is not a concern. I've had, like, 10 times as many Watchtowers because of, like, analysis videos and stuff, and discussions. I don't have, like, quick 5-minute meme videos, so I don't have to worry about watch time. All I need is my subscribers. Mochi says, I'm sitting at 135 Mithril right now. I need Ice, Earth, Dark. Should I go for 2 and 3? I'll stream every festival day. So each banner comes out every 2 days, so I will definitely stream every single banner drop, yes. Mochi, I would say, yeah, if you feel like you need Ice and Earth, the Ice and Earth banners are good. The concentration on the Ice banner. No Taco costume. Taco got retired. I will use the hot dog costume sometime during the festival. Evan, they only opened all the banners at the end of the festival once ever. That was sometime last year. Something you just can't count on. If they do, great. If they don't, whatever. Just don't count on it happening. So it was a year ago, eDaddy? It's a long time ago. Don't count on it happening. The maid outfit, well, the maid outfit was a joke. Or was it? Yes, John. The 2 lucky draws at the end of the festival are confirmed. They're confirmed to happen. We don't know what the pools are going to be. Absolutely. I would honestly say that physical are the stronger teams right now in the game. Mages are hard to do as well because they usually need more than a 30% buff. There's some special cases, like with Terra. But physical teams benefit from them having access to 50% stat buffs. Yes, John. 25 mithril each. Neither do I, D-Daddy, but I know I will have a use for it. It's a very powerful soul break. I just don't use mages that often anymore. But I will. How do you get good TPS with mages? A lot of powerful mages, but I feel entrusting an OSB over and over wins me Magicites twice as fast. For physical, I feel like mages can be more powerful than that. Well, you need a healer that benefits your party. You notice, I don't know if you have noticed, every time I run a mage party, I run Aphmau's BSB as my healer because she provides another magic buff. That's not required if you have somebody else on the team that provides a good magic buff. Like Garnet's USB, or in the future, Garnet's Chain. Or you have a character like Vivi or Terra who generate their own magic buff. It's that second magic buff that's just very important. And if you can get a third, all the better. But Deuce is great too. Deuce is actually the best at it. That's probably why I don't use mages as much anymore, is because I don't have Deuce. Deuce is a much better healer than Aphmau is. And it affects my ability to do 4-star Magicites, because they put out so much damage that Aphmau has problems. Well, another mage that works well, or another white mage that works well with mage teams is, Aphmau with USB. Aphmau USB or BSB both work, and Realm USB, and in the future, Alara USB. They just need to be able to buff the party. Well, right now, it's just attack buffs. Single attack buffs are so strong that you're given a lot more flexibility in what you want to use as a healer, and that's a huge part of why I think physical is as powerful as it is right now. Any thoughts about how much gil to stack while we can? Yeah, I do have a thought, and the thought would be 0. Unless you spend gems on this game, you're going to generate more gil for yourself naturally than you're going to be able to spend. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 21 minutes. So if you want a little buffer, do Nemesis a few times. But don't go too nuts, unless you spend gems on the game. So the thing is, the biggest mithril sink in the game is reforging. Reforging a 7-star relic into a 5-star relic is 2.5 million gil. That's not something you have to do very often if you're not spending gems on the game. I reforge everything I possibly can into from 7-star into 8-star as a free-to-play player, and I cannot get rid of gil fast enough. I keep making more gil than I spend. $14 mil is plenty of gil. Did I say 7-star to 5-star? I meant 7-star to 8-star. Maybe I just chewed my words. I felt like it tried to come out as 8 and just got mangled. Yeah, I'm basically done, Dale. We just about finished. And yeah, Solus, you're right. I do need to have another team building stream. I actually been thinking about that. There's a very structured way I want to approach team building and teaching team building, which will make it a lot easier to understand. Mages can still be good. Well, you see what I was saying about needing that second mage buff? Well, one of the reasons why mages were as good as they were is because of one person. And that was Sid Raines, who was a really powerful character in his own right, who also party buffed. Well, Sid Raines doesn't work in 4-star Magicites, and he won't until Siren is released. And losing that super-powered character is, yeah, it's kind of a problem. Yeah, you daddy, but that's something that they should be doing naturally. The question is, what extracurricular activity can I do? Quote, Nemesis. How much should I do this to add on to what I'm doing already? And the answer is nothing. If you're a free-to-play player, then you're generating so much gil, like you say, from 4-star Magicite completions, and dailies, and just a whole ton of stuff. That it's you gain more gil than you can spend. So Nemesis is for gemmers. I'm gonna have it sometime during the festival. The team building stream. I feel like I combine relics more than a lot of people do. Which means I spend more gil than most people do. And I still can't get rid of gil fast enough. Yeah, a lot of people orb exchange for no reason. There's that. That's true. Yeah. That's why they call OCD a disease. Well, Orb Exchange is good if you need it. Like, I have, 4 white orbs, but I want to hone Ultra Cure. Or 4 major white orbs. So I'm going to exchange up 4-star orbs into major white orbs so I can hold my Ultra Cure. That's fine. A lot of people do it just because they get 4-star orbs and they're like, oh, alright, let's make them 5-star. Even though I don't need them. It's actually a really useful utility. Just a lot of people do it unnecessarily. There's no penalty to keeping them at lower orb totals because there's no cap. So there's no reason to ever actually exchange them if you don't need them. Then Kupo Blitz, I suggest doing some Nemesis to support your habit. Oh, okay. Ugh. Man, I woke up this morning, the banner info thrown in my face, ran out for breakfast real quick, and then just dived into the stream. Haven't had a chance to get adjusted to the day yet. Cracking question if you don't mind. Absolutely not. Who do you think is better to accompany Lightning with USB Prompto or BSB Sora? I would say Lightning, or sorry, Sora. Because Sora doesn't require Soul Break points, so if I'm assuming since you're using 2 damage dealers, then you're using a dedicated Entruster. And Lightning makes it a very good sync for those Soul Break points. So you can send a light Entrust over Sora's way, and then for the rest of the battle, completely Lightning. Where Sora is going to do a ton of damage by himself. If you give, like, say you gave that same Entrust to Prompto, I feel like that light Entrust to Prompto and that light Entrust to Sora is going to go a whole lot further for Sora than it will for Prompto. Yeah, Sora would have to be dived, but Sora is just not good if he's not dived. Unless you have his Lightning Glint, that helps. Realm USB. If you leave her by herself, she may run into some issues if you don't time the USBs correctly or properly for maximum healing. But just with some light entrusting, Realm will never have a problem healing parties, as well as provide instant casts to your parties. E-Daddy has an Ixion question. Who are the best characters to use out of Bartz, Edge, and Ingus? I have Bartz USB, Edge Super Soul Break 2, and Ingus Burst Soul Break 2. Bartz and Edge. Ingus BSB 2 is good, but it's not going to do what the Bartz USB can. And Edge's Super Soul Break 2 is just phenomenal for the fight. Machina and Tifa? No, Realm's USB is instant Kiraga Medica with instant cast 1 to the entire party and a 30% Stone Skin shield to the entire party. Yeah, you would need to entrust her, but that's okay. that's okay in Realm's case, because you're not just siphoning all of those soul break points into strictly healing the party. You give to Realm, and Realm gives back, because she provides instant cast 1 to the entire party multiple times, and that's really powerful. And trust how many hones? I have an R3 and an R2. R3 is definitely good enough, but R2 might be good enough. So, I'd suggest making an R2 entrust if you're going to entrust. And then if you find yourself needing more, then you go further. It's the same answer I have to give for like every home question. Most battles don't actually cost stamina if you lose, so why not just go try with the lower hone, and if you find out that you need more hones, then it makes sense to do it. Should you dive Realm? You can. It's not a bad dive, but I would want to get by without it if you can. She definitely becomes a lot more survivable with that elemental damage reduction. But if you've got good Magicite, you can probably get by without it. So I wouldn't use it. But if you feel like you need to, then do it. What's for lunch? That's a good question. Probably peanut butter and apple butter. Sandwich. Probably with another coffee. Yes, I am, Hamad. I'll be pulling on all 15 of them Friday. So, in a couple days. You can see it right now on screen, actually. The Reddit schedule. March 23rd. The Dirge Challenge ends. All 15 Realm Parade draws. No, I had to add in the sandwich afterwards. Tacos does sound good, though. I had a burrito yesterday, but in Southern California, every day is burrito day. Could have another burrito. I won't, though. I'll dial it back. I'll just have a sandwich. That would be pretty funny, Crash, considering they're not coming out for another 6 months. Boy, would that be a surprise. Oh, X modes. Oh, God. Brave modes. Yeah, it would be USB, right. X modes are just a status. I feel like you're doing that just to troll me. No, I've expressed how much I hate referring to them as X modes. Yeah, purple. I've done the entire analysis. I'm actually just going to spend a little stamina here, and then I'm going to go take a break. Might stream later for giggles. It's only 1:30 p.m. here. Oh, oops. Bam, we're back. Oh, we gotta get rid of Laguna, too. I don't know, is there? I ain't playing that game right now. It's a little up Ramza. And Terra. Apparently in 2 weeks is going to be the Ramza banner, which I said I was going to pull on because I have a lot of gems in the game. So I'll probably boot up a stream for that. Oh, the city multiplayer, gotcha. Forgot about that. Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, let me go take a break and I'll start up stream. Maybe start up stream at about 6 and 4 hours. And we can do some multiplayer. That Dissidia. Fire Beam. I don't need no Glint. I don't need no Burst Soul Break 2. I got my End Fire right here, baby. Gonna AOSB with the Fire Beam. It's so criminal. These are the only soul breaks I have for my favorite character. I just need to not pull on tactics banners ever again. Why Crash? It's a multiplayer. I'm sure some people could 6-man that and carry you through it. There's no reason to give up on it. Trying to do it solo, then yeah, you're gonna get your shit pushed in. That's why you don't use them solo. Oops, I was going to tweet that I started streaming. Never sent it. Well, that's a good... Oh my god, yes! Black Crystals! Terra! I see a bright Chain Faraja in your future. Hello, Hosh. Yeah, I'm not gonna do multiplayer now. I'll do it later. Oh, it's confirmed on the 25th? It's way too late. I'm gonna have to do my other 4 Tiamat fights this week without it. Oh, it's confirmed on the 23rd? Okay. Oh, stop playing with my heart. Yeah, it looks pretty definitive. Seems 25th is the day. Three-star motes on the 23rd, 4-star motes on the 24th, and High School Rush on the 25th. Sunday is too late. That is after the new Keystones missions get dropped. So I'll do 4 Tiamat runs tomorrow. The hard way. Or I could wait until I do my parade draws, because I'm obviously going to get Squall's Burst Celebrate too, right? Mm-hmm. The Tiamat fight isn't that bad. I will have to reset a couple times just so Sora doesn't get his attack stolen, but it's okay. Alright, I'm out of here for probably about 4 hours or so. Everyone have a grand old Tuesday. And I hope you're happy with the banner information.